cold, you're wasting food because I'm not. So,
Yep.
for that reason, my light is too bright. Google, super light. Set the light to purple.
It was like Google was hesitating.
Sometimes I think it's gotten stupider over time. Honestly, I'm convinced that Google has like my Google, my smart home speakers and tablets have literally gotten.
Oh yeah, most
So
likely.
you
By the way, we are live. I just checked
out.
the yeah. Oopsie daisy, we're live. Should I do countdown just for fun?
Yeah, let's do a countdown.
Countdown for fun. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Smack and yeah.
You know the thing is like I knew I was live. I knew it.
3 and action.
I had to click the button to make it go live anyway. So with that, hello and welcome to That Beautiful Life Podcast. This is episode 216 of That Beautiful Life Podcast. My name is Chris Campbell, sitting here in the beautiful Red in the United Kingdom, talking to the beautiful Roger Bergstrom all the way in Stockholm, Sweden. Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to the podcast. Hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday, May the 1st. Yo, welcome to the podcast, Nalu. How are you doing? First in the chat, let's it rip.
Hello, Nalu.
Nalu with that what do you call it? Beyblade reference, love it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's been another day in the mid of the week, as we say. And yeah, as usual, you have been to work before, and it was pretty tight. I got a message from Q. I'm at the train station. I'm about to get the train coming soon. Should be 10 minutes before the starting time-ish in Reading, then on the bike. Yeah, I was like, oh God, you're stressing now.
No,
but it's fine.
I wasn't. I was sitting at the train station watching you.
Okay, good. Relaxing a bit.
On the way back, I'm cycling. I'm just tracking my speed because I'm like, I so love tracking how fast I'm going on the bike and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, like,
good for you.
No stress. I'm just like, look, I'll get there when I get there. I can't change the fact that I'm at the train station at the time I am. It's just work.
Exactly. Yeah.
All I do is I cycle as best as I can, get back as fast as I can. I go uphill on the way, and it is, I mean,
you say uphill. Is it from the train station in Reading to you?
Yeah.
Is it how's the terrain? Is it like up? You said up.
Yeah. There's a bit of a. I guess you can. It's a small hill to me, but Alex would say it's steep.
Okay. Yeah.
I find it small though. Like,
yeah.
I get a little bit of a burn from it, and then I'm at the top. I think if it was longer, like because the steepness only happens. Like it only starts to take a bit of effect as you get close to the top. So it starts like a bit slanted like that, and it starts going tapering off like boom.
Okay. It becomes really at the end. Okay.
Yeah, not that high. It's sort of like
no.
So like that. So it starts off like this, and then it gets like that.
Looks like 25, 30 degrees, maybe 10, 15 in the beginning. Probably. some math right there, and stuff like that. Tornado. By the way, Nalu mentions tornadoes that has been happening on Friday and Saturday. Not here.
Not here either.
Probably in the US then, right? What area? Are we talking your area? Like
have you seen
Texas,
one, Nalu?
or
have you been
able to... Oh, what happened? Q, what happened?
My mic fell.
Oh my God. I just saw, you should have seen, it froze a bit. The camera froze a bit, a second. Really? It looked very strange. Oh my God.
So my mic can happen. It fell. Yeah. It's because here's the thing. I'm so not accustomed to this mic. I think I've pressed the button. So let me reset. I'm so not accustomed to using this particular mic in the configuration because I have that black thing behind there. My mic stand, and it's supposed to be attached to my desk, but this is not my desk. Well, it is my desk now, but this isn't the desk I usually would have, and that stand can't clip to it. So unless of course if I drill a hole through the desk, which I've been thinking about doing, But generally speaking, I'm using the nightstand, the mic stand that came with it, but I couldn't
Yeah.
find the sort of screws that go through here.
Oh,
So I've just
okay.
sort of wedged it on there because it's really tight, and
Yeah.
I guess it didn't hold.
No, if you hit it a bit, it won't most likely do what it did, like fall
Yeah.
into this ground. Okay, back to the tornadoes for a second. Okay, nearly 160 tornadoes in the central U.S. That's more than 100. That's more than one. That's more than 10. That's why so many at the same time? Is that usual, or is it something like a big thing happening? I hope people don't get hurt to start with. Of course, also when it comes to places where they live. I've seen. I mean, that's yeah. Talking about the differences between countries, I
Mhm.
think you could fill in there also, Q. But I mean, here in Sweden, we don't have much at all when it comes to like nature catastrophes, things happening. I mean, small earthquakes every 50 years. No, it's something like that. It's really or more or less nothing.
Mhm.
Um, Long winters, we've said that, but that's another thing. It's not, it has nothing to do. No,
I
they see. Okay, okay.
I think
Mm.
they call it a massive
Massive
outbreak.
outbreak.
Oh, okay. I've
Ooh.
never lived through or been through a tornado. Never experienced one before.
No.
Only four deaths. Okay, four is not a large number. It's pretty good. But I would say, like, depending on the region you're in, would depend on what kind of natural disasters you're more likely to experience. Like in the Caribbean, where I'm from, in Trinidad, the natural disasters that you see more of are earthquakes. And I say that
Okay.
specifically to Trinidad and Tobago. So like the rest of the Caribbean, excuse me, would have storms like hurricanes, which
Exactly. I was thinking of that. But they
they
pass you guys,
they
don't
go
they?
above, it goes above Trinidad. So Trinidad is just below the trajectory of where hurricanes pass, because hurricanes, like tornadoes, they sort of like follow a path. And it has to do with how the earth spins essentially as to where it goes and how winds move, that kind of crap.
You guys are lucky in that sense, for sure. I
Lucky,
mean,
but we literally sit
yeah.
on top of an earthquake belt. So Trinidad is
Oh,
literally,
no, it's that instead. Okay. Oh.
so we're in a sort of like a heavily volcanic area. So you got volcanoes under the sea, you've got earthquakes, all that kind of stuff.
Ah,
And
okay.
so in my life, I've experienced a few earthquakes that way. Um and with living in the UK, what I've found, it's you get storms which aren't too bad, but I think in Europe, I think more so than anything else, I think what you experience more is more. My mic is moving for some reason.
Shit.
I've muted
You need
myself.
some tape soon to wrap it around it so it's gonna hold still.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to work.
Yeah.
Okay, still, but
Nalu asks, they are considered hurricanes and not cyclones.
mm, yeah, hurricanes. But they work the same way. I think hurricanes and tornadoes work the same way. I think it's the same sort of like
No,
concept.
but hurricanes and cyclones are different. Yeah, hurricane. Yeah,
Hurricanes work
I'm
the same way. It's like it's wind spinning around in itself. It's like, but higher up and
okay.
probably
They
wider.
they say like this. I'm not sure if this is correct, but called hurricanes when they develop over the North Atlantic,
Yeah.
Central North Pacific,
Hmm.
and Eastern North Pacific. These rotating storms are known as cyclones when they form over the South Pacific and Indian Ocean,
Hmm.
and typhoons when they develop in the Northwest Pacific.
It's pretty much the same thing then.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just more or less where they um, show up or where they are created, if you will, rotating.
If they were formed in Sweden, they'd probably be called like a Swedish name,
Yeah.
like Thor or something.
Yeah, I have to come up with something. I was
Oh,
thinking about Vikings immediately, but I couldn't really.
I was starting to think of a Viking name, and then I just went with Thor,
Yeah, yeah.
or like
That's at
Balder.
least lightning. Okay, yeah, we can get put something together. I think. Aha, hurricane spin different. All right, look at that now.
Mm, different, but they're still spinning storms, so I think they're very similar in that. And it's like cousins basically. You mightn't be the same as
Yeah,
your cousin,
relatives.
but
The bad boys in the family,
yeah, but
for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. Your bad boys in the family.
But may
So
I ask you though, because this we haven't talked about. Through the years, we have talked about a lot of things. The man spread, what we like to watch when it comes to movies, but we haven't talked about the freaking earthquakes that much. I mean, what are we talking about? What have you said you've experienced like maybe 4 or something like that
I think
during
more.
the time?
I think more.
More?
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone been like strong or big? I don't know what
So
level you need to reach when it comes to the
when I lived in Trinidad, I lived in like a block of flats, and generally speaking, so we were on the so you've got the ground floor, then you've got a floor above that, and then we were above it. So we used to
Mm-hmm.
call it the third floor. And generally speaking, now these are all concrete, really hard, like solid slabs, with steel wrapped through it. So when you build houses in the Caribbean, um, they're built with bricks and cement. They're solid, but it's not like
Oh yeah.
it's not like the bricks you have in the UK. So if you look through my window there, you can see the bricks that my walls built from the red brick.
Yeah, that's a different thing. I know what you mean. Yeah.
In the Caribbean, it's solid brick. It is hard,
Mm.
all right,
Mm.
and they're tough, and so essentially they're designed to hold the like to this like stand up to stuff like storms and earthquakes and all that kind of stuff. And the way they do it, because I like my dad is a private contractor, so I've worked on construction sites before as punishment. I was chasing girls when I should have been studying, and my dad insisted I had to come and work with him as punishment to get my allowance.
Q, you come over here now and work a bit. Yeah.
I was being a proper bando of dreams from a young age. But anyway, the point is, um, generally speaking, I didn't get that girl, by the way. Just so you know.
It
Um,
happens.
it happens. But generally speaking, like the earthquakes, the houses are built in a way that they really wrap the brick around the steel essentially, so the steel goes deep wrong, and they held together by mortar, which is cement mixed with stones and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
sand,
right. Yeah.
and brick and steel, and that's what holds everything together. So
Wow.
living in a 4-story building and having it shaken, right, to the movement of an earthquake is freakish as hell. It's absolutely
Mm.
freakish. So
I can
you
imagine.
you can literally feel like you
Mm.
feel this weird feeling underneath you. Sup, who's in the chat?
Hi.
Defras Music. I'm not sure who Defras Music is, but welcome to the chat, Defras. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself. Have we met before? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Um, but yeah, so generally speaking, you feel the ground moving underneath your feet like waves, and when you know it's happening, like you can hear things shaking, like if you have dishes and all that kind of stuff. And then the weirdest thing, because of the fact that there are other blocks of flats around, so you look out your window and you see these other tall buildings, and they're doing that. Like the building itself is doing that. That's concrete brick doing
Oh.
that. It is the most, because then you start thinking, oh shit, I'm in one of those. It's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
So
it's wiggling a bit to the sides. Yeah.
Sprite, what's going on, man? Sprite is the admin from the Discord server, that the eFootball Discord server that I'm in.
Nice.
Oh no, he says from Sprites. Oh, he's
Yeah,
not
from
Sprite.
Sprites League. From Sprites League.
We haven't technically spoken before now, at least. Oh well, welcome. Have we played each other yet? I don't even know if we've played each other yet.
Time for match.
I have to say, like, I haven't played E in a while. I guess I'll get into that in a bit. I'll start talking about E in a bit. But yeah, I haven't played in a minute. But yeah, that's how we kicks week in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
freakish.
nice to hear about it. Yeah, it's freaking freaky, definitely. As I said, I've experienced a few here in Sweden, but they never get like strong, if that makes sense. I felt the shaking a bit, but it's never been like over the top scary or something like that. Just small ones.
I think if you
Fortunately, I would say. But yeah, I see. I see. Also, I just want to see what Nalo commented when it comes to no touchdowns in your area, which is of course good to
That's
hear.
good,
Even
man.
though, even though you lived through a lot of hurricanes when you lived in Florida, I can imagine that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Look at that now. What DFRS says here, been promoted to division back this season. Okay. Hmm.
Oh, so you've been promoted up and I've been demoted down. So we're definitely not gonna play each other. All right. By the way, spoilers. I got demoted. I heard a lot of good things about me. Really, from who?
Well, that's nice to hear.
That's
It's
nice
at
to
least on the
hear.
positive side of things.
I'm humbled.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm, mm. I hope it was all about my charm and grace on the football field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The technique.
It's the technique of not winning matches, which literally is what happened to me last season. I didn't win anything.
Yeah.
I pretty much
But that will change. That will change.
updates, man. Updates. These updates are horrible sometimes. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get into that soon. We will soon be able to slander eFootball a bit. Um,
True.
Sprite is definitely a good lad. He is definitely a good lad. Indeed. He's always he supports the server so well, and every time something's going on, he messages you and you up to date with your matches and everything. He's like the gaffer in a good football team. He's awesome.
That's
Um,
great. Good to hear. Yeah.
yes, very awesome lad. So Raj, we always say this before we start the podcast. Let's stick to an hour. Let's try to stick to the time. It never happens.
I know it's harder than it. Yeah, on the paper it sounds very like clear and easy target to hit, but apparently it's hard. No, we should try to do that. I could just briefly say that I've had kind of a normal week. I would say for those of you that don't know, I have a bit of an injury when it comes to my elbow and forearm.
Mhm.
Working on that. Today was the best of days, but before that, the week since we last had the podcast, it has actually become better. But I had a bit of a backlash today. I'm not really sure why.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's that. And then things are going on as usual. The good thing though is that it's finally started to become like spring for real here. We had a
Mhm.
change of weather within like I think this is the last 2 or 3 days, 2 days for sure,
Mhm.
where it's been like almost summer weather from like like 7-8 degrees plus up to 20 and plus 20 even at some point, which is a big difference. So it was a nice walk today being out. It was I really felt that, I missed this so much. I can see which is typical here in Sweden and
Mhm.
around the Stockholm area where I live. Immediately when it starts to get better weather, people are gonna fix the barbecue.
People are outside now.
Yeah, and start to wear shorts and t-shirt, and I'm like, it's
Mm,
not that warm yet, but
no,
okay. Not for me, at least. I'm very like, it's gonna be much warmer for me before I dress like that. That's just me, but whatever
I'm
have
not
you.
complaining about the peoples out there in their shorts and stuff like that. When I get on my bike and I'm cycling through Oxford, shout out to my Oxford peeps out here, especially the cyclists. Like, oh my god, Oxford cyclists, exceptional. Special shout out to the female cyclists. You know, all you bloke cyclists out there, you know who you are. You guys are legendary as well. I like you guys. You're brilliant. The
Good,
female
good.
cyclists, they outdo us, man. They outdo us. Those female cyclists, separate, separate on a separate level.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's a good day here in Jamaica. I can
Oh,
imagine.
it's
I
a good
can
day
imagine.
in Jamaica. Ooh la la. Ooh la
Uh,
la. Sick blur. Beautiful.
yeah,
I haven't been to Jamaica.
that's good.
Despite coming from the Caribbean, I have never visited Jamaica, which is actually it's actually sad. Because I have friends from Jamaica.
Oh,
So,
you do? I know
yeah.
you've been to Barbados.
Yeah.
It has to do with some practical reasons. Sometimes you take that route when flying, but you have relatives there, don't you?
Mhm.
I believe.
I do have
Yeah,
an aunt and cousins in Barbados, and
yeah, yeah.
it is cheaper to fly through Barbados to well, I should say more convenient to fly through Barbados to Trinidad if I'm visiting Trinidad. Um, which I don't mind. Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and I've got some friends from Jamaica that I met when I competed in the Commonwealth Games. I actually competed playing eFootball. So it was the esports for the Commonwealth Games. I played eFootball for Trinidad and Tobago, and I made some friends with these Jamaican guys who were there. Caribbean island people bonding on our Caribbeanness. They actually went looking for me. They were like, when they saw me, I was like, wait, are you guys the guys from Jamaica? They were like, we've been looking for you for like a day. I was like, seriously.
Oh,
I was like, wow, how you guys? And we became friends and we hung out and I showed them around because it was the first time to the UK. So I took them around with me and showed them around the place and told them where they should get certain things, took them to the shops and all that kind of stuff. And we just became.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Island of Soca, lime and liquor. Yeah, liquor.
Soca is Trinidadian music, and
Yeah,
lime and
that
liquor.
I know actually. Yeah.
Lime is we would say so we would say a lime is how is a Trinidadian term for hanging out,
Really?
and yeah, it's Trinidadian term for hanging out, and
Oh.
liquor is just alcohol. So
Yeah. That I can sort of figure out, but okay, yeah.
so you wouldn't say let's hang out. You would say you want a lime later, which is do you want to hang out later?
Okay, sure.
So and or you say lime in. So if someone says what are you doing? Oh, I'm liming with my friends, which is I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, okay, good.
I don't know where the term came from, but that's how I knew it all my life. So yeah, liming with the boys, liming with the boys. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but to get back
continue.
yeah, no, I don't need to say so much more. It's nothing really. No, it's true. It's just I'm just happy that the sun is shining again. It's more like that. It's been so gray skies, and yeah, I've been in contact with the rest of the band. We're gonna meet up soon again. I need to get whatever. We'll see what happens. But it's been pretty normal, if I may say so. But
Is that someone actually? Oh, that's just good footage from matches I've played in the server. So usually when I play a match in the server, at least I haven't done it recently because I need to set back up my capture card and stuff. But usually what I would do is when I'm playing a match, I would record the footage of the match and just sort of use it for like background for the podcast and stuff like that.
yeah,
Excuse me.
it's
So
not live.
it's not live, but
Not yet.
you might see some names from some of the people in the server on there. And yeah, Nalu's already pointed out, yeah, it's pre-recorded. So that is what it is.
What about you? What about you? Because I'm more or less done with my week. I'm kind of curious to hear about. Yeah. You went away again, didn't you? You were in a bit of a trip, or
Me?
was that last? Yeah, haven't you done
Yeah,
that this week or?
this weekend I had to go to London for we had there's this you guys can Google them. There's this YouTube channel. It's like a big thing. Their channel is called Pen Game. So Pen Game Rap Battle. They do a rap battle sort of show on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's high production value, really high production value. I have to say shout out to them. They're really good. So we sponsoring them. We sort of like formed I shouldn't say just sponsoring, but it's sort of like a relationship that we formed with them through sponsorship to sort of like help people for the company that I work for. So essentially they sort of promote us during their show and stuff like that. And so we go to their shows and sort of like meet people, that kind of thing. And I had to go to one on Sunday and it was amazing. Again, absolutely amazing. You have some famous people there as well because they're guests on the guests who judge the rap battles, like famous UK rappers and stuff like that who come on, or content creators and stuff like that. So you have some really big name content creators that have been on there, that are well known in the UK. So we have it's an interesting time. I'm actually expecting a call from them today, so later on today.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're kind of making arrangements for something. So just for those who don't know, I work in marketing. I did say I'd update you guys what I do for work on this episode of the podcast, but there's something preventing that yet. So I will update you guys on the next one. I'll tell you guys more about my work on the next episode.
Yeah, it'll happen soon. Yeah.
It's something I need to sort out first. Before I do that, then I will go into more. But generally speaking, I work in marketing. I'm a marketing manager for a company that helps people get into university. So that's generally what I do. We help people get into university without qualifications. So they don't need qualifications. All they need to do is to have 2 years of work experience. It's 2 days a week on campus, and it's government funded. They don't even pay us. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It is for sure. And
And
talking about work, I just want to fill in this bit of sticking in things here from the chat. I saw you talked about that you want to maybe, if you could, now that you would like to work with for a living when it comes to chasing these storms. And I was thinking about
really,
a documentary that I've seen people doing just that, working with these kind of things, and it looks very dangerous. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, just want to fill in there. Yeah,
yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I like living too much. But
yeah.
but
Bring my
generally,
umbrella. Yeah.
yeah, definitely not doing that. I think other than that, what else did I do this week? I think I have a video shoot this week? No. I pushed back all our video shoots that taking place after the 14th. Got a really big shoot with a massive celebrity that day. And then all my other shoots, I've got this really cool shoot to do with a rock star, which I think Roger you would appreciate. I'll send you her music. Actually, it's
Yeah, okay, yeah, do
I
that.
enjoy. I think you'd appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Um, but I'm looking to sort of like pencil that in for the week after. So it's gonna be fun. My job gets really cool. I do a lot of cool things on a day to day. But what it means is it means that I am usually like I come in and I'm so tired I just pass out. I genuinely most of the time I don't have the energy to like continue on the afternoon times. I just pass out. I'm so tired. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, generally speaking, work is chill. I've been in the office twice this week, which hasn't happened in a while. Most of the times I've been home for the past couple of weeks. Um, if you're enjoying the podcast, by the way, guys, make sure to like the podcast and share the podcast. We really need to grow the podcast, so like and share so that we get more people in here. If you're enjoying the episodes. But anyway, that being said, how's the family? The family's good. The boys are chill. They are Ty has had a few bad days. He had some meltdowns. Did I tell you about this, Raj?
No, I don't think you have mentioned meltdowns. Not yet, at least. No.
I had some absolute meltdowns after when I went to London on Sunday. Like he was fine all morning, like normal him. And I leave the house and Zappy calls me like literally like maybe like I want to say no more than 15 minutes. Tell me he's acting crazy. He just run around the house and screaming and jumping on the sofa and doing all sorts of stuff. Um, and I was just like, oh my god, what just happened? You know,
Yeah.
but it's it gets weird. it gets pretty weird. Um, but generally, yeah, it's been I think 2 days of that, and then he seems to have got back to normal, like he's fine again. I don't know what it was. I don't know what's the cause of
Yeah.
it. It just
Yeah.
happened.
I was just about to ask.
We don't know.
Sounds like he wanted some kind of attention, but didn't really, express what he really wanted or something like that. I don't know.
No, the thing with Ty is that he's so intelligent. He's really good at articulating himself for a 6 year old. So for a 6 year old, he can articulate himself so well.
Hmm.
Like you can have a full on conversation with him about something as if you're talking to me, and his vocabulary, his use of language is so good. The only thing is he's still a 6 year old, so he thinks up 6 year old nonsense all the time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course.
And and then basically like I was talking to Alex on the phone the other day, and he was on my lap, and because usually she calls after he's gone to bed, so they haven't spoken much in a while. And he came down and I was like, hey, talk to your mom. So he's on the phone talking to her, and basically they're talking, and he asks her, oh, when are you coming back? And she says like in like 30 days. He just breaks into tears. So I was like, mate, why are you crying like that? I was like, I've been gone for like 30 days and I've been back. And he's like, yeah, but you called me every day. And then I was like, shit,
Okay.
that
Mm,
is true. Excuse me, that is true. She did promise him she'd call him every day. And she has called every
okay.
day, but by the time she calls, he's asleep because time zones and all that kind of stuff. So
True. That's a
um
thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because usually she's at the hospital with her grandmother, or she's running errands and stuff like that during hours when he's home. So it's not as easy, I would say, but I think she has to find some way or somehow prioritize giving him time, like give him a call somehow,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I think that's having an impact on him. To say,
Yeah, I would think so without
I
knowing
didn't.
more, but it really looks like it or
Mhm.
sounds like it. I mean, yeah,
I didn't
that
think
could
it
probably
was.
comfort him. Yeah,
I didn't think it was bothering him at first because he didn't ask. He didn't ask about her. He was like
yeah.
fine. He didn't ask how she's going. He wasn't like, oh,
Um,
can we call her? Nothing. He was just like,
hmm.
he was good. But then
Yeah,
once he
but
broke down to
time
tears,
has passed. She's been away quite a while now.
yeah, I think it's been a month already.
Yeah, that's a long time for a 6-year-old.
It is. It is. Because I think the whole time it's supposed to be 2 months in total.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before. So
Mhm.
most likely, yeah, it is a long time for sure. I mean,
Yes.
you guys will fix it definitely, no problem. But as you said, most likely that was the reaction.
Yeah.
So I hope they can get together for a call, mom to son.
I think they spoke today because she told me she was calling them when I was
Yeah,
on my way
okay.
home from work. So I think she called
Yeah.
them.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Good. Sounds good. Mm. Other than that, or is it something else you want to add to the equation when it comes to the week?
The food is cold now. That's what I want to
Yeah.
add. The food is cold now. That's what I want to add.
That's not good.
This is why
uh,
my family should not bring me food just before I start a podcast because I can't eat and talk at the same time, and it means that my food goes cold, and then I
yeah,
can't enjoy my food, which I want to. I want to enjoy my
that's a hard task to do. Yeah,
food.
that's why I tried to get the job done before. But I understand you came in late, literally just before the podcast. So, but with that said, have you been watching or playing it? We can start with video games, maybe. Have you been playing anything? eFootball, maybe?
Yeah, I want to talk about eFootball. So, I have not been playing a lot of eFootball recently, and there's a very distinct reason, key reason why. Anyone in the server from the eFootball server that I'm in, right, and DJ Fast Music, um, is that if you've played eFootball recently, I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but it just feels I'm stuck in my teeth. What do you call that fruit that has like these seeds in it? Um, Dragon fruit.
Oh, could be, definitely. It has those small seeds of yeah.
Pomegranate, that's it. Pomegranate. I've got
Aha, okay, okay, okay.
pomegranate seeds stuck in my teeth, but I got it out. But yeah. So generally speaking, I haven't been playing a lot of eFootball because the game has gotten mm, not enjoyable. I feel like the meta has changed a lot from what it was for me. And I feel like I need to rebuild my whole team just to compete again in the game. And it happens, you know. A lot of times you have to rebuild your team. Um, but I don't feel like I'm having fun playing a game where I have players who were pretty decent after before the last update, and
Yeah.
I could compete even if I was playing against players who had people who had like really, really, really like beastly teams, you know, like the most legends and all that kind of stuff. I could still compete with them. Whereas now, I feel like I can start a game off and I can get into a game, and I feel like I fall off after time. No, maybe it's not just the update alone, but my god, it does feel off. You know, like it feels like there's a latency in input. I'm not sure if that's just me feeling that, but it does feel like when I press a button and when it actually registers it, because I tend to
Oh,
play
okay.
a very high risk style of excuse me, of football and e-football. So I tend to wait very long before I make my passes. Like I want my opponents to get very close to me or I play a pass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because for me, if I play it late I take risky passes. Like I pass the ball into to really tight spaces in between opponents and a player running in behind. Because usually when I do those passes and I do them really well, what tends to happen is I use wireless, but I've been using wireless for ages. But what tends to happen when I make those sort of risky passes is I literally get the ball past an opponent and I can do some crazy stuff with a nice through ball. Because then
Mm.
they don't have anyone there. You know, they come to me and then the ball's through. But what I've been noticing a lot is that I get intercepted a lot, which is not something that used to happen in previous updates. Now I get intercepted almost all the time. There's
Ah,
this weird rebound effect that's happening with the ball physics. So like sometimes you get into a one-on-one with someone on a tackle, and the ball bounces in a weird way, and then it ends up back on the player, and it's like, how did that doesn't make any sense. Like it looks weird. It is the weirdest thing ever, but it happens. Um, and yeah, and I granted a lot of the guys in the server are really high caliber players, so they're really good. And I don't, I don't put place all of my losses on the fact that the game has changed in some way, shape, or form. I also put the fact that those guys are really good, but I feel like I'm like in previous iterations, I was more competitive with the guys in the server. Maybe there's a chance that I can get some practice in and stuff like that. But literally, even outside the server, just playing in divisions, I'm getting destroyed in matches. Like I am not even competitive enough to like I think in my last 5 matches I lost all five. My last five
ah,
matches.
okay, okay.
And the margins aren't that it's not like I'm losing like 10-0 or something. Like in those matches I've lost like 2-1 or 2-3 or something like that. So it's like I'm
Close.
scoring goals, but I'm struggling to defend in the second half of games, and I'm struggling to attack. Like certain players that I used to have that were really good for me, like for example, a player card for Christopher Nkunku, which was really good in the
Mm.
previous game. He doesn't play the same. He just doesn't make the runs he used to make. He doesn't move the same. So it means that either I'm gonna have to buy new players for my team, which I don't want to do, and I'm gonna have to change my formation and restructure my team. Which
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
I'm not in the mood to do. I'm just
No.
I just don't have the energy to do it. So I have literally just logged in every day to get my daily bonuses, and then I just turn back off the game. I haven't really been playing over the past couple of days. I'm not having fun. And I think the thing is,
Mm.
if I'm gonna play a game, I should be having fun. And I don't feel like I've
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
having.
Of course. That's the most important thing, I believe. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, always, and it goes for. It doesn't really matter what kind of game it is. You have to enjoy. Otherwise, why are yeah,
What's
it's
the point? You might
yeah.
as
What's
well.
the point? You can do something else. Or play another game, whatever have you. But I
And
think as you describe it, isn't it? Or well, it sounds for me, it's a combination of things that happens within the actual game, like
Mhm,
technical wise,
mhm.
and the combination. And I also understand this is one of those games we talked about that before, that you have to be on it a bit almost every day if you have a bit of an ambition to actually play it better or better,
It's also pay
progressive.
for win. It's also a pay to win game because of the fact that
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've talked about that as well. Well, that comes into the equation as well, and it's of course something that can definitely tilt the balance, and of course be the small margin factor that
mhm.
makes you maybe lose and the other guy win. If I don't know exactly how it's built, but that could be a thing. But again, yeah, playing a game should be fun. Otherwise, screw it.
it
Take a break,
should
or I don't know.
it should be fun. I think why more so it irritates me the whole pay to win aspects of the game is, for example, originally how eFootball used to work, or Pro Evolution Soccer or FIFA used to work, essentially any football game, is that players are rated between 1 and 100, and 100 is
Mm,
the highest rating you can get, and no player ever really gets 100 rated. For the most part, they're always in between, in the 90s or like the 50s. They usually
hmm
start around somewhere around 50, they go up to the 90. And now you have players who are 102 rated, 103, 104, and so forth. And a lot of the legendary players or players that had high ratings before, there's now a new variant of them that has higher rating. So, for example, a player like Edgar David or Patrick Vieira or something like that, they are like the
yeah,
best midfielders in the game. They can block every pass, they can do every no wrong. But to get them, you have to open these random packs, and there's 150 players in the pack, and you have a random chance, one out of 150, to get that players, and spend money to get those coins to be able to buy. So it works out in the sense that you spend a lot of money, you
yeah.
know, trying to. So the best players or the players who are the most competitive in this game have probably spent a lot of money trying to get the players that they want, because you see a lot of teams where guys have every top legend in the game. You know,
Okay.
they have
Yeah.
the best goalkeeper. One of the best goalkeepers in the game is Petr. He is like
Mm.
pretty good,
Mm.
but
Mm.
again, he's in a pack of 150 other characters, and you have to open the loot box. Yeah, it is loot boxes. Um,
Mm.
and have I bought into the loot box system? Yes, I've actually purchased the one player I invested in to try to get, which was Dwight York, who is a former Trinidad and Tobago legend. He used to play for Manchester United. He was a Manchester United legend as
Mm.
well. I did it because he's a Trini, and I was like, I want the Trini guy. Like, I'll spend a little bit. Also, I've been playing this game for 3 years, without spending a cent. So I was like, if I'm playing this game for like 3 years on, and not spending a cent, it's worth investing a little bit.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
think
say,
that's perfectly fine. It's yeah.
yeah, I didn't feel too bad, in the end. But
No.
now it feels less competitive because of the fact that, as I say, the best teams seem to have a lot of players that you buy, more or less, and
Yeah, that's very tiring, to be honest.
it
It's not an
is.
equal playing field if that happens.
Mhm,
I mean, we talked about these kind of games and the monetization models that might differ, but if it leads to the fact that you get an advantage, whatever that might be in a game, then it's not good. And I have encountered that so many times when it comes to the games I mostly play, which is FPS games. So we
mhm,
talked about that as well. And
yeah,
it's kind of, yeah, it can be frustrating.
mhm,
And as if sometimes you don't notice it so much in the beginning because it's a bit more forgiving and it's not like the top tier players that you might fight or play against, whatever you want to, how you want to define it. But then when you go up the ranks and everything, it becomes more obvious what you just described, that some guys have actually gone those extra miles, meaning paid those money to actually get
mhm,
the good stuff. And it could be like in a game, it can be, oh, sure, you can argue and say, well, it's not really pay to win because you can actually grind and get those, in this case, those guns just by playing the game. Yeah, sure. But it's definitely a pay to win shortcut when you can actually get the same, but faster by actually paying for it.
true.
So it's yeah, per definition, I still believe it's a kind of a, people want to call it pay to progress when it works like that. It's kind of a mild saying, but I still think it's like, oh, you did invest in Call of Duty World War II boxes. Yeah, you see loot boxes. Yeah, they are all, at least were. Things have changed a
Everywhere.
bit now, but more, yeah, everywhere for sure.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I like the way you
yeah,
say pay to progress, because in eFootball is the same way. You can get a lot of the same players for by grinding the game, but excuse me. There's only it's either you take that game as a full time job and you grind a lot and just have a bunch of coins. Because I've got a lot of great players from grinding the game, but I just don't have that time. I just can't do that every day.
no, yeah.
Play
I can see the difficulties here. I mean, in again, back from my you know background playing these kind of games when it comes to shooters. uh, Luckily, mostly nowadays, if I think about 5 6 years back, would still be like models that make these mistakes when it comes to the monetization. Boxes is one thing, but I'm just thinking about how you progress in the game and what real money does in the game for you, and in relation to other players.
Mhm.
Uh, but I don't know. I just think that as the best way is always just to have, uh, what do you say, customization options.
Mhm.
Uh, that would be cool Nike football shoes for Vieira or whoever. It's like, that's the only thing. But of course I understand they don't want to do it by that. But by doing it in a different way, then it's got to be harder for certain people to play because you just can't really compete on the same level.
I think that is such
So
a
it's
great idea, that what you just said, because like for example, like I think about some of the kits that they have in eFootball. You have a bunch of like club kits and national kits and so forth. But something I saw FIFA did, which made me kind of bit like, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, is they had a Real Madrid kit, but it had like
yeah.
a neon effect on the kit, so the logo on the kit and the design in it glowed with like purple color, but the kit was black. And I was just like, looking kit. Something like that. If I could get stuff like
Yes.
that in eFootball, special kits and all that kind of stuff for my play for my team, that other people will have to see when they're playing against me. I mean, that is a huge I want to buy eFootball. And I think if you have it where you balance the game, you balance the players, where you don't have any player who's like overpowered in a sense, like
Yeah.
I think there are only few players in the whole life of football that football has ever. There are few players who have been what you would consider overpowered. Like you've got Pele, you've got Maradona, you've got Messi, you've got Cristiano
Mm.
Ronaldo. These four players are probably the players you would think about as overpowered. Throughout their
Mm.
careers, they've literally just been like gods on the field. No one
Yeah,
could
yeah,
could
yeah.
stop them. Every other player has had ups and downs. You have, like, for example, like Thierry Henry in his prime, a beast. You have Manuel Neuer in his prime, a beast. But if you're gonna have players like that, yeah, you can have those players in the game with their best stats and stuff, but don't have ridiculous stuff like 101 rated player with like 99 across the board stats
Yeah.
in almost every department. That makes no sense. Like, if
Yeah, but I would go so far and say that either it's like what I hinted, it's only cosmetics, and if that's the case, then yeah, so that's what you can buy for real money. That's what I'm
Mhm,
trying to say. That's a way to make another cool haircut on the player or whatever you want to
mhm,
do. There's a lot of options actually, and I think they could still make money. But when it comes to the actual players, I think it should be an in-game currency that you get by playing the game.
yes, yes.
And that's the only thing.
Yeah.
So sure, it also means that it's someone playing like 7 times a week compared to someone playing 1 time a week. Well, it's gonna be easier to get Maradona if he
Yeah.
was still in the game by playing those 7 days a week compared to one. But I think that's more fair, at least,
Yes, it is.
than to have things behind a paywall. I don't like that. It doesn't really. It's just no. It's uh, I'm sick and tired of those kind of models, to be honest.
Mhm,
And so for me, it makes more sense. That's what I'm trying to say here. If it was okay, in-game currency, you earn those coins by playing, and you do certain things, maybe some daily and weekly challenges, whatever that might be. Score goal, 4 free kicks,
mhm,
goals, and you get 75 coins,
mhm,
whatever they might be worth. I don't know. Things like that, because that's what they also do in FPS games. They have these daily, weekly challenges,
mhm,
and that's also how you then can get the camo for the gun you want. Or you can buy it if you want it like from now and from now on. You don't want to wait. That's
mhm,
perfectly fine because it doesn't do anything with the actual balance in the game. But
mhm.
what you describe totally wrecks the balance. That's when it becomes pay to win.
Does.
Um,
It does, and I
yeah,
think I think the other thing too for me is when they change how players play or move
yeah,
after an update. So, like, if I have a player who plays a certain way, let him still play that certain way even after an update. Even if you add a better player to the game, you know that player should still be good. Like, I shouldn't
yeah,
have an
yeah,
update
yeah.
come out and my best midfielder is literally unplayable. I can't use him anymore because he's
Mm.
no longer the meta. There's another player that you've put in the game who's better than him at everything.
Yeah, that's the next thing when it comes to developers almost like nerfing certain things, certain weapons,
Mm-hmm.
or certain players for that sake, and then buff others or bring others into the game that kind of wrecks the balance. That's always a hard thing when
Yes.
you bring too many variables into something, a game in this case.
Mhm.
So yeah, keep it straightforward, keep it simple, as you say. Updates, sure, but make sure that you don't, because it's also a question about a sort of a muscle memory thing. You
Mhm.
get to know the timing of a certain player
Mhm.
and how he reacts when making a through ball or something. I don't know,
Mhm.
example, a tackle, whatever have you. But you just gotta, and then if that changes for some reason, then it might throw you off a bit.
Does.
So
It
yeah,
does. It
but time
does.
flies, bro. I just see that. Can't we, if we're gonna,
Let's
yeah,
let's jump to what you've been playing, bro, which is also a game that is a games of a service game. So tell us about it. Does it have microtransactions?
Yes, it has, but it's not a pay to win game. This is a modern FPS monetization model when it comes to camos. It doesn't really do much more than that.
Mhm.
customization for the cool strikers, as they are called. That's the characters. I'm talking about a free-to-play shooter that I did not know about, and there are reasons for that. That is called Bloodstrike. And the reason why I don't know about it is mainly because it's originally designed or developed for mobile devices, both Android and Apple. However, I did play, but that was using an emulator on PC when I played Call of Duty Mobile a few years ago, and that game has continued to develop. It played pretty okay. And talking about customization options, they went haywire in that game, giving so much more options than some of the like regular AAA games that has been released, as they do every year. Activision wants to do that. But with that said, this is a bit of a competitor. I've made a video, if anyone is interested, posted it the other day, because I just felt that, okay, I got to take a look into this, even if it's, even if it that sounds negative. I'm not going to put it like that. Yeah, it's made for mobile, but it's also possible to play on PC. It's not on Steam. You have to go onto their website, which is bloodstrike.com. But it was actually released last year in October, I believe, by the publisher. It's called NetEase Games. The developer is also NetEase. And I have to say, these guys have been smart. They have been optimizing the game pretty well, so it works well also on low-end devices, which is always good. Because, for example, now when Activision, when they released Warzone, the version for mobile, it didn't work well at all when it comes to low-end devices. I know some people told me they can't play the game because their phones can't handle it. Yeah, I think this one is it's well optimized. Which makes it possible also for people with low-end devices to play, which of course increases the chances to get a bigger, player base and everything.
Players, yeah.
So that's smart. It has pretty good ratings when it comes to Google Play, 4.6 out of 5, and Facebook 4.9 out of 5, and App Store 4.7 out of 5. And I understand why. I have actually put some hours into this. I was not expecting that. Sure, I go in, I play, I record, I make a video. But I have continued. I actually streamed the game with a Swedish guy just a few days ago. What is it? Yesterday. Hello, yesterday. Playing, because it has it has quite a few, it has definitely some player value when it comes to also what you can do in there. It's like the normal kind of style of FPS game modes when it comes to kind of a twist of a team deathmatch, which I like. A bit of an elimination. So it's like the last man standing, two teams 5v5 versus each other. And when one round is over, you don't continue on that same map. It goes over to another map. It feels a bit random, but I kind of like that because that changes the pace and the outcome, or how you choose to play the map, so to speak. Some zone control kind of game, or King of the Hill, if you will. And then they have a pretty good Battle Royale, which is definitely a competitor then to the Call of Duty's Warzone, also mobile. And I saw in the comments on my video that people have been some guys that have been actually playing a lot of Call of Duty Mobile and also Warzone on mobile. They just went over to this game because they felt, well, it's better optimized, it plays better, it doesn't have to. There were certain things they mentioned I've forgotten that they felt was working better here, but yeah, it's cool. I have to say, is it a game that I will continue to play and grind? And as we were talking, even put some money to unlock something, or no, I won't do that. But I was, how do you say? Positive. Yeah, I was a bit surprised in a positive way. Because again, it originates as a mobile game, but if you take a look at it, the graphics are pretty good looking as well for being just that. So it's things have happened definitely on the scene when it comes to mobile games as well. I'm not too interested in that, but again, the game was not bad at all. It was pretty good gunplay also too. So it's good stuff. I'm impressed. They have done a good job.
Impressed.
So that's Bloodstrike for you. And I think I've heard it's been hard since it's not on Steam. It's not that easy to just read and find information in the same way. But I do think it has a lot of players, especially in Asia. I think it originates from there. So there should be quite a few people playing this game. Sure, you also in the beginning, as it often is, you play and a majority of the players you meet in the beginning are bots. That's not uncommon at all. But as you climb the ranks a bit, you can definitely you start to play more against like other players like yourself, and they have ranked as well. If you want to play a bit more competitive with that, whatever that means in a game like this, then you can do that in the normal game modes, multiplayer game modes, but also when it comes to the actual battle royale. So yeah, cool. Nice to see that. Free to play as well. So there we go. Hmm?
Oh, sorry, Wick is messaging me. It's something urgent. Yeah.
Yeah, we're done soon. Well, then I can talk about what I've been watching.
Go
So
for it. Go for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like to go back and watch some older stuff once in a while. And I just asked my youngest son Isaac if he had watched Dances with Wolves from 1990. This is I think this is the movie where Kevin Costner premiered, you might say, as a director. I think that's the case. This is a long movie. I think the version we are watching is like almost like around 4 hours long. Not sure if you guys have seen it, but I can recommend it. It has an 8.0 on IMDb, and I think that's somewhere where it lands for me. This is the kind of an old style movie that me and Q has been talking about before, meaning that it has a bit of a slower pace, quite a lot of dialogue between some action, of course. Because we're talking about a Wild West movie in a way. It's about a lieutenant. Kevin Costner is a lieutenant. His name is John Dunbar, assigned to remote Western Civil War outpost, like in nowhere. He's out in nowhere. Finds himself engaging with a neighboring Sioux settlement, meaning Sioux tribe Indians. Causing him to question his own purpose. And I remember I liked this movie when it was premiered back in the days, and it has
quality.
aged well. It has aged well. Good acting, good like scenery, good everything. So yeah, Dances with Wolves is still worth watching for sure. Also now in 2024, I think this is a good movie.
It's
Have,
not.
have you watched it,
I've not
Q?
seen it before, but it's nice when you can go back to an old film because, like, sometimes you
Yeah,
think you think to yourself like, excuse me. Sometimes you think to yourself like, I liked this when I was younger. It probably isn't
yeah,
going to age well. And then you go back and you're like, it's not bad. It's brilliant, isn't it? And sometimes
yeah.
you go back to a show that you watched ages ago and you're like, oh my god, this looks terrible. Like
True. Yeah.
or the plot makes no sense. It's just stupid. I like
Yeah.
this when I was a kid, and now I don't like it now. But yeah, it's great when you got to go back and you watch something that is a classic to you, and you think, oh my god, this is brilliant. And it still is, as it says, brilliant. I haven't seen this movie before. Not really my cup of tea when it comes to like type of movies. I didn't watch a lot of westerns as a kid. My mom used to love those though. She was
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
She was huge on westerns. She was a big fan of this famous western actor or something like that. I can't remember his name, but she was a big fan of his.
Was it maybe John Wayne?
Yeah, I think it was John Wayne. I think she was a big
Could
fan
have
of his.
been. Could have been.
I think
Yeah.
it was. I think it was. She was a real big fan of westerns back in the day, but wasn't my
Yeah, that
cup of
was
tea.
pretty. Sorry, I cannot imagine. I'm thinking about the generation your mom is in. It was the same. I mean, when they grew, when I say they, like parents, our parents, and everything. Then the Western genre was pretty big. It was like
Yes,
a big thing. It was a lot of Western movies.
yes, yes. I
So
think
I understand.
that's
Yeah,
pretty much all they had on telly. Like when I think
yeah, it
about
was.
like the generation coming up, they're more into anime because anime is huge now. But when I was growing up, anime
Yeah.
was like it was a cult thing. It was like few people watched anime, and the few that watched were like we were like fringes on the side of society. So something like this, I would have probably seen on the telly and been like, ugh, on a mom shows. I don't want to watch that. No, no. I'm gonna watch something else. I'm gonna watch some
Yeah.
cartoons, or I'm gonna watch some sci-fi. I used to love sci-fi. I still do
Mm.
to a certain extent, but I think I was more keen on sci-fi than westerns. I was like, this is old people.
Mm.
But I think
What I
nowadays,
can say, I have to
mm,
just put in there. This is not a kind of a normal Western movie per se. It's so much more than that, to be honest.
mm,
It's
mm,
it's like it's a movie about people, relationships between people,
Mhm.
relationships. It's kind of a interesting message to in a way
Mhm.
in times we live in today, because
Yeah.
it's also a message between people of different color, people of different cultures and background, having thoughts about you are like that, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you aren't. I got to know you, and you aren't. Oh, I like you, you
Yeah.
know, like that. So it has a pretty deep sense and message, and so it's not like it's not that kind of spaghetti western that was mainly made like back in the days, if we talk in the 50s, 60s and into the 70s. So this is more it's a grandiose movie, if I put it like that, like the
Mm.
old style, like big screen, like productions, well, like great music as well when it comes to scoring the music and everything. So yeah, it is good. It is good. But as I said, things take time. We've talked about that before. This is one of those movies where they let, certain scenes be a bit longer than it definitely would have been today. Cut, 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 yeah, I just wanted to add that in because yeah.
Nah, definitely. Yeah, I'll add it to my to watch list. Maybe I'll watch it and
Yeah,
maybe
who knows,
I'll find a time, because the thing is that like there are times when I'm looking for something to watch and I go into my watch list and I see something, or maybe I'm scrolling through a platform and I see something like, oh, this is something that was in the watch list. Let me watch that. So yeah, I've added it to my watch list. I'll check it out. 8.0 on IMDb and 8.7. And it's got your seal of approval. So why not? I will take a look at it. And
Yeah, could be a moment to actually see it. I believe it's a bit of a movie history as well already.
mhm.
One of those to for sure. I no, haven't seen the new Deadpool Wolverine trailer yet. I will most likely watch it, to be honest. Even though I also try not to watch too many trailers. If it's a movie I know I will watch, but I hope it's gonna be good. I really hope so.
I feel it's gonna
Yeah.
be crap though. Something tells
Yeah,
me
it
it's
could be. That's the thing. That's why I'm like,
a lot of
ooh,
these
should I?
superhero movies are just being crap now. So like
Yeah.
I'm a bit skeptical per se, but
Mm.
maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it'll be good. I will not hate it, but we shall see. We
Yup, yup.
shall see.
Yeah.
As for what I've been watching a series called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
Wow,
Yes,
that title though.
yes, yes.
That's cool.
So it's Tensei how do you say, I'm gonna butcher the Japanese name, but I'll try it anyway.
It's okay.
So it's Tensei Shira Slime Data Ken third season. So so I'm watching the third season of That Time I Got Reincarnated into the Slime. I've seen all the previous seasons. I've enjoyed it thus far. It is enjoyable. I fell asleep during season 3, probably
Okay.
episode 2, because of how tired I am. So I watched episode 1 and then fell asleep during episode 2 and probably slept through episode 3, 4. I don't remember, to be honest. I will have to go back through and watch those episodes all over again.
It
But
happens. It happens.
it has been going good. I'm sure my sleeping self enjoyed whatever was on screen. I'm sure of it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's an 8.2 on my anime list. I
Mhm.
would give it thus far. I'd say that's about a fair rating for it.
Mhm.
I dropped the point 2 and just scored an 8. I don't think it needs. But generally, I think it was a good. It's a good series. I'm enjoying it so far. If you're thinking about
Cool.
something good to watch, you want a good isekai type anime to watch, I can recommend you That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime season 3. Your boy is liking it. Um,
Cool.
Season 3 is kind of slow now for me too. I wouldn't say it's slow. Like, I'm enjoying it. I like the character build up and all that kind of stuff, and so it's not too slow for me. It's just I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
bloody tired these days. So when I sit down to do anything, I fall asleep. Remonster is amazing though. You have started Remonsters. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. I just saw I think episode 4, was it? Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Roger, you gotta see Remonster.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, it
So
is.
good.
Okay. Yeah.
So good, Raj. Like they've got elves now. Elves, spoilers, they got elves now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I'm just
Elves,
saying.
elves.
Elf waifus and shit in the house. I'm just saying. Amazing. If you haven't
That's
seen
great.
Remonster, go watch Remonster. It's good. Your boy rates it 10 so far. It's splendid. Okay, I'll give it a 9 because 10 is too high. So it's got a 9.
Yeah,
Um,
it's close. Yeah.
yeah, it's a close. It's a close. It's almost a 10. I can't give it 10 because well that would be unfair. So yeah, generally that's what I've been watching. I haven't been really watching much else other than YouTube. I do watch the other YouTube and stuff like that, but most of the time I'm working. As you can see during the podcast, I was getting someone was calling me actually. Someone was calling my phone. And yeah, it's actually someone I could tell you guys who.
I mean, don't wait. Then
I'm
it's
I'm
just.
gonna I'm gonna type in the chat for Raj to know who is calling me. The rest of you guys are just gonna have to like fantasize.
Oopsie daisy. Yeah. Okay then. Well, interesting things coming my way. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, I'm getting some information here through the Discord.
Yeah.
On my second screen, that's what I'm doing here. Okay. Yeah. That sounds great. Like a good day at work, I would say. Yeah. Upcoming good day at work for
Yep,
Q.
yep. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I so Raj knows.
If you if you take up away up up from that last sentence, what do you get?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we wish.
No, okay, sorry. Talking in riddles here. Sorry, guys. We got to be on the side of things here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Okay.
I'm sorry for the rest of you who don't know what's going on in this conversation.
Yeah.
This is why we will have to start a Patreon where those of you that subscribe to the Patreon to know what we are talking about will know what we are talking about. But unfortunately, for those who are not subscribed to our Patreon that doesn't exist, yeah, you won't know.
Exactly.
You have no
The
idea
ones
what we are talking about, essentially. Essentially.
True that.
Raj, I'm just gonna send you one more thing related to what that should you know suffice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, you can. I gotta sit here watch things for a
Yeah.
bit.
Okay. Cool.
So I
So
don't know.
yes, so that's pretty much what I've been watching this week and what Roger's been watching this week. But generally
Oh,
speaking, Date Alive went from guilty pleasure to outright pleasure. Yeah. I haven't seen that though. I haven't watched Date Alive. But yeah, that kind of resonates a little bit with what Roger was trying to make with me. But anywho's it. How about we say goodbye to the listeners?
yeah.
And
It's time.
it is
Time to
time.
close
I do need to
shop.
call back that call
Yeah,
essentially.
you should do that for sure.
Yeah, I do need to make that call back, so I am
Yeah.
gonna do that. I actually have a few calls to make.
Yeah. Then we need to be quick here. But anywho, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and I hope to see you and hear from you next week as well. Take care now, and as I always say, stay healthy and have a good week. Enjoy life to the fullest, as always. Eat a healthy apple and a muffin if you can, meaning muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. So as always, guys, thank you very, very much. I say guys, but sometimes you have female listeners.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as always, you beautiful people, thank you very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. Of course, as always, you can find Raj at Fortis spell ISHSPLASH. He streams on a Tuesday and a Sunday, but he shouldn't be streaming because he's pressing his hands as he should.
Oh, I got that one. Yeah.
Hey, you should try giving a chance to and what?
Archdemon's dilemma: how to love
Oh.
your elf bride. Okay, interesting.
Send me a link, Nalu. You know my DMs. I'll take a look at it. Send it to me on the Discord or something. Take a look later. Anyway, that being said, as always, guys, you can find me at LP Garden. That's Garden to you pretty much everywhere else. You'll see it on the screen. You'll see Rogers. And I have not been streaming, but I have been trying to update on what I'm doing and things I'm doing. True stories on the YouTubes.
Oh,
I
that's
up,
good.
I did update a story today, but it went to my personal YouTube account that it doesn't actually have any videos on. Really, it's just an account I made to make YouTube accounts from. So it's the account I use to watch YouTube videos. I don't actually use that for anything else. But yeah, you guys would have seen it in the Discord. So I'm gonna delete that, by the way. I accidentally uploaded it. It was supposed to upload on this channel. But anyway, I'm trying to see if I can, do more and more of those. I've got a mic that's really cool that I can use, get good audio no matter where I happen to be. You'll see some stuff like that bit back. Maybe you'll see some stuff from when I'm at work. Yeah, maybe. So that, as always, guys, you wouldn't like guys to miss on any podcast. Many beautiful people like this podcast and Castbox, Acast, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and elsewhere. You can find us, of course, on YouTube Music, as YouTube is gonna kill YouTube Google Podcasts, so it's gonna be forward. You'll find us there. I think it's probably the best place to listen to the podcast because you can watch and listen at the same time. You can switch between them. Yeah. Hopefully Google will stick to it because they never stick to anything. But
True.
but fingers crossed that they will. Oh my god, I said Google too much. My speakers react. No, bad speaker. So with that, as always, guys, wrap. That is the
Thank you,
episode.
guys. Yeah, and share beautiful Nalo. Thank you.
Thank you, Nalu. We appreciate it. Very awesome. So let's look to go, yeah, boys. I'm gonna have to actually feel like reheat by
Oh,
myself.
oh, you're
My
yeah.
sister is so kind. Like she did a nice thing, but I didn't want chicken. I feel like I shouldn't say like I didn't want chicken. I didn't want all that much food. I just wanted to eat wings because I just wanted a quick snack, and then after the podcast, I'd be hungry again to like eat
Yeah. Eat more like a proper meal,
like a
whatever that
proper
might be.
meal. I
Yeah.
just wanted a
Mm.
snack to snack on while I was podcasting, just like
Yeah.
fuel me up. But now my food is cold and I can't even eat it. So,
Yeah.
ooh, good sister,
Yeah.
bad timing. So
Well thought, but yeah.
yeah, well, to timing was poor though. I think timing was
Yeah.
poor because I can't eat and podcast at the same time properly because it just doesn't work well.
It is hard. It is hard. I know how it is when you're going to try to talk and then it's not really that enjoyable, to be
It
honest.
isn't.
I mean, food tastes best when you can really sit and, feel it, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's how
I
it.
I also usually like eating and watching something, so I'll have something going on.
Yeah, that can be okay. That's a different thing for sure.
Yeah.
That I do also once in a while. So it's perfectly fine. But
Quick
yeah,
question, Raj. Do you take your
yeah.
phone with you to the shower and like watch YouTube videos while you're showering?
No, that I don't actually. The phone stays outside the shower. So no, yeah,
Do you
no.
take it to the loo? To the loo with the phone?
I have done that.
Okay,
That I've done.
okay.
Yes.
I'm not a crazy. Knock on my door. I think they're expecting. Yes, I'm ending podcast now, people.
Yeah, it is time to